give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha-Rakah Quadash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone Well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, Wa Abba Babal. Alright, so it's news that U.S. military merges with the IDF. Alright, you can see right there on Newsweek it says U.S. and Israel military integration. Alright, I even shared a video with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she was talking about this being a loss of power, of sovereignty towards the U.S. And you know, a lot of people are coming out talking about the flood of troops that are going to come into America from foreign countries. Alright, which you already got the Ice Cube program, the Ice-T program, which when you see ERO on their vest, that means they were IDF trained. Alright, so this is a prophecy, alright, that they're going to come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. And they're going to flood the streets of America with troops, alright, with foreign troops. That's why they tell you they're sleeper cells. And Nero 47 himself said they know who they are and where they are, because they're the ones setting them up. Alright, it says in Zechariah 14, and I'll get it in the NLT version. It says, verse 1, watch for the day of Yahweh is coming, when he will send his son Yahweh Shai to judge the world, when your possessions will be plundered right in front of you. Which they're going to run a Gaza situation on America. They're going to run a Ukraine situation on America. They're going to run a Syrian situation on America, a Lebanon situation on America. Alright? Which if you watch that movie Super 8, at the end they're at full-blown war in the streets of America in that movie. And they got tanks that are just destroying the neighborhoods. And that's what you're going to have in America. Alright? It says, I will gather all nations to fight against Jerusalem, which is a people before a place. And the Israelites, the citizens of Jerusalem, are for the most part enslaved in America according to biblical prophecy. That's why you have the prophets, the majority of the prophets of Israel in America. This is a place of great judgment. Alright, it says the city will be taken, the house is looted, and the women raped. It says half of the population will be taken into captivity, and the rest will be left among the ruins of the city. Alright, because you're going to have major war in America. A lot of people are going to die from famine. Alright, death and destruction is the prophecy for America. Nuclear destruction. America is going to be turned into a lake of fire. It tells you in verse 12, and Yahweh will send a plague upon all the nations that fought against Jerusalem. Talking about the Israelites are going to fight against us Israelites that are here in America. We're in Jacob's trouble, and there's going to be a great tribulation when they make that implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling. Their people will become like walking corpses, their flesh rotting away, their eyes will rot in their sockets, and their tongues will rot in their mouths. Which the KJV is better on that verse. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, aka the Israelites. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall, it says, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Which you could even copy and paste this verse into Google, and it'll tell you that it's talking about a nuclear destruction. Watch the movie Terminator, Judgment Day, and Sarah Connor has a vision of nuclear destruction. And this is what it's talking about. They show a part where she's grabbing onto the fence and her skin is blown off of her bones, and she's screaming while she's standing there, being burnt on her feet. That's what this is talking about. America will lose World War III, and it's going to be turned into a nuclear lake of fire via nuclear missiles by its allies and enemies, and all its troops that are gathered throughout the world into the Valley of Slaughter in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Valley of Jehoshaphat in the Holy Land, when Yahushua returns, he's going to mount them there. You can read 2nd Ezra 13. Ezra said when he saw the vision, all he saw was dust and smoke, and he was afraid. Daniel saw the vision also. You can read about that in the book of Daniel, and he said that it made him sick to see it because he couldn't understand it. So it's about to be devastating for these people in America, but also throughout the world, because it's going to shake the whole earth. All right? But the hopeful elect, whether we die or whether we live, we have salvation in Yahushua, the Son of Yahweh. Yahweh gave us a way out of the second death, and it's Yahushua, his Son, his only begotten Son, which the scriptures speak about him from the beginning to the end. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, wa abab abal.